Record on this computer. Okay, so hello, Anna Imagination here with the Healing Garden. This is more of my lab today than anything else, and I need my whiteboard up. All right. The more I dig into these multiple mental illnesses that come down from NIM, the more I'm going, these don't make sense. There's something missing. The problem is, I have a case study right now who's displaying consistent thing. She had PTSD. The PTSD is gone. Depression, I've got that one figured out. That's an absolute symptom. Bipolar. Bipolar is just a cocktail. Compound. I'm going to call it a compound behavioral defense. It means that there's two, and the two that are actually in there is depression and ADHD. Now, we have PTSD, narcissism. There's a trigger. Okay, I'm going to put that here. Narcissism. Yeah, okay, I know what I want to do now. I'm going to figure this out. Just give me a minute. Okay. Watch this, because this is what I'm seeing over and over again. You have triggered, which is PTSD. Depression's not triggered. It's a symptom, and it's permanent. There's a word for it. Oh. All right. Let's go over to some anime for a minute, because this is really it. One Piece types of fruit. Logia, Zoan, and Parmesia. There it is. Okay. There's an anime called One Piece. It's my favorite, and they have fruits inside of this anime. There is a Zoan, which is just animal type. That's not the one I'm talking about, but Logia and Parmesia. Logia grants the user the power to create, control, and transform their body into a natural element. Parmesia, which offers any of a vast array of strange abilities that do not fit into the other two categories. Okay, so Logia is a permanent state. So depression is Logia. It's almost permanent. It's in some cases that's not true. It's not true, because it's not that way with most people. And then that's what I'm looking is does it switch on and off, or is it permanent? Does depression have a trigger? Now, I know what it is. It's a symptom, so I'm just going to walk away from that. Compound behavioral defense is bipolar. Now, this is the other one, borderline. Borderline is a compound. Borderline personality disorder. And this is a compound behavioral defense. But there's another one here, and I keep finding it. Post-enslavement. Submission disorder. Wow. I am looking up the synonym for erase or efface. about remove? Well, displace. Or is it a removal? Discard. Enslavement, discard, displaced. Displacement. It keeps coming back to displacement over and over again. I can't get away from that, I think. It's displacement. Post-enslavement, displacement. I call this slave mind. And it's a full triggered. And it is very different than PTSD. So I call this PED, post-enslavement displacement disorder, or slave mind. It was fucking nightmare to get over. In fact, it is because of PED that I had to leave society. There's just no way around it. Now, borderline personality disorder is actually PED and narcissism. But narcissism is not narcissism. It's actually called identity. Well, this is where my stuff comes in, but I'm going to leave it there for now. I hate the fucking word narcissism. It's absolutely wrong. It's always been wrong. Okay, so what else do we have here? Suicidal ideation. That's part of depression. Suicidal ideation. And that is very much part of, that's a symptom. Now, the only thing I'm interested in are these. Because everything else here is a consequence. Oh, we're not done yet. There's one other thing here. And it's something I'm struggling with also identifying, but I'll figure it out. The other thing is almost, okay, so this is addiction, eating disorder, and one more. One more is it called? Self-mutilation. Now, oh, this is where it gets real, real, real. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and pull this out here, and I'm going to leave this alone. All right, so there's that. Now, this is where I'm going to get into this category, because this is a whole nother creature. Eating disorders, self-mutilation. Now, when we get into this shit, there's a lot that's actually going on that we don't talk about, because this is a symptom. These are symptoms of what's really going on. What's really going on is common denominators. Common denominators. Look for the common denominators. Common denominators. And then separate the symptoms from the cause, because the cause is what matters. Now, the common denominators among addiction, eating disorder, self-mutilation is self-loathing. Self-loathing. No identity. No trust in self. But also significant problem with fear, discomfort, and disappointment. This is me like, it's on, bring it, bring it. Okay, so the common denominators of all of those is fear, discomfort, disappointment, self-loathing, no identity, no trust in the self. In fact, no self at all. Now, those are symptoms of post-enslavement displacement disorder. It's a concept. Yeah, this is very much a side effect of PED. But there's an inconsistency. I can feel it. All right, I'm going to call this person subject number 1. Subject number 1 and subject number 2. Subject number 1 and subject number 2. Subject number 1 suffers from depression for 30 years, porn addiction, self-loathing, fear of failure, dissociation. Stonewalling, fucking hate that word, which is actually severe blackout. Anxiety, primarily social anxiety, which leads to stonewalling, severe blackout. So that's subject 1. What else does he have? We think depression, 30 years, porn addiction. People pleasing, conflict resolution, fear of conflict, severe fear of conflict. Okay, there we go. So that's subject number 1. I believe that is everything he's got. Nope. I remember now. Avoidant attachment style. Object permanence, displacement, disorder. One more. I can see it. It's the avoidant. Abandonment, severe fear of abandonment. Fear of abandonment. All right, let's do this. Then the subject number 2. Oh, all right. She has PED. I'm going to put this up here. Okay. People pleasing. There we go. I do not want, oh, there we go. Can we do that? Yeah, that's what I prefer. There we go. Okay. So there's my original thing over there. So she has PED. She had PTSD. She had a blood phobia. She had depression, suicidal ideation, oh yes, eating disorder, self-mutilation, so PED, PTSD, blood phobia, depression, suicidal ideation, eating disorder, self-mutilation, internalization, not even close. Post-enslavement disease mode disorder. People pleasing, narcissism, definitely narcissism. Abandonment. Fear of abandonment. Now. Oh yeah, fear of failure, fear of disappointment, fear of disappointment. Now, He does not have any PED that I can see. He does not have any PED, and that's what's throwing me. Actually, it's not. It means he has no exposure to narcissists. So he has no exposure. So subject 1, no exposure to identity displacement. And that's what's confusing me. That's what's really throwing me, is I have not seen any symptoms of him ever having any exposure to narcissism. Whereas subject 2 had an overexposure to narcissism. Excessive identity displacement. And this right here is what's throwing me. This is the anomaly. I'm looking at him going, he should have had. Doesn't. That's the other thing, is severe fear of talking. Fear of talking. She also has self-loathing. All right, now, what symptoms does he have that she has? She has depression. Did she have an addiction? She had the eating disorder. Self-loathing, yes. Fear of failure. She dissociates. But the dissociation is part of the PED for her. I can definitely see that. Dissociations. It's as if I had it too. All right, I'm going to look at myself. I'm going to become subject 3. Subject 3. Common denominators. Symptoms. So we're going to move subject 1 over here. Subject 2. And I am subject 3. All right. My symptoms. PTSD. Suicidal ideation. Depression. Borderline. Oh, let's call it what I need to call it. PED. Now let's call it borderline for now. Borderline, which is PED and narcissism. What else did I have? They gave me bipolar. Gross. ADD. I had ADD. I didn't have ADHD. See here. Shit with bipolar. Misdiagnosed again. PTSD. Oh yeah, that's okay. Psychological entrapment. And that was also Stockholm syndrome. What else did I have? I'm going to put PED over here. Yeah, PED and narcissism. PTSD. Oh yeah, my phobias. I had agoraphobia. I got anything here? Okay, so arachnophobia. Claustrophobia. What else did I have? And xenophobia. Oh yeah, I was a shut-in. Kind of important there. Shut-in, recluse. Okay. Did not have addiction. Did have spending addiction. Yes, I did. Spending addiction. That was my thing. Spending addiction. Fear of abandonment. Disorganized. Attachment. Anxious. Disorganized. Anxious. Attachment. And then, oh, good God, did I have a problem with object permanence and displacement disorder now? Arachnophobia, claustrophobia, xenophobia. All right, so here we go. Social anxiety. Okay. Now I fawned. Gross. Fawning is not fawning, it's bad. That explains that. Fair response. It's fucking shit. People okay, let me see. Figure this out. Common denominators. Here we go. Three people. Now, subject 2 and subject 3 suffered very similar traumas. Subject 1, oh, there you go. That's another part of it. Severe amnesia. Oh, yeah. Multiple personality disorder. I also had excessive identity displacement. Whereas he did not. I am going to figure this shit out. This is pissing me off. I am going to figure this out. Okay. Let's take out the common denominators. All right, actually, that's it exactly. Differences. I'm going to leave the differences, and I'm just going to read out the common denominators. Did I have a fear of failure and disappointing people? Did I have, what fears did I, fear of abandonment? Oh, there you go. We all had the fear of abandonment. All of us had the fear of abandonment. All right. So there's our first one. We all have a fear of abandonment. Fear of abandonment. Did I have self-loathing? God, my problem is, yeah, I fucking hated myself. First point. Did I see? I didn't struggle with the first one. All right, I'm just gonna look at these first two. I'm gonna leave me out of this and just look at the first two. They both have fear of abandonment. I displayed examples of me being extreme, like on my chart, which I need to apparently give it a name. Oh, I need to give this thing a name. my chart. So this is the chart I'm referring to. That chart, I need to figure out a name for it. It's the scale. I am a, I'm just going to call it Anna's scale for now. I am a, I need like 1 through 10 on this. I was like a negative, I was like a +2 on this scale. I can see it in my head. I'll have to write it out later, but this is a +2 on the Anna scale. And then, yes, there you go. Oh, this is really gonna put things in place. So I was a +2 on the scale, easily. No, I was in a range. I toggled between a +2. Colin was a +2. Really, if I'm going to be honest, Colin was a +2. And this is where the multiples come in. But everybody else was like a -2. Yeah, -2. Joanna was a -2. There. So that's where I range because of my multiple personality. So now, yeah, I'm at 0. Now, subject 2, I would put her at a -5 easily. -5. I would put her at a solid -5. -5 on the Anna scale. Yeah, I would put her at a -5 solid on the scale. On subject 1, oh my God, I would put him at a -10. All right, I got to introduce everyone to the Anna scale. I got to come up with a better name than Anna scale. All right, so identity scale. I'll figure it out. But he's a -10. Oh my fucking God, is he a -10? He is a -10 on the Anna scale. Now, subject 2 is definitely a -5, but I was a -2 to a -4, depending upon which personality was in charge. Colin would jump up to a +2. Joanna was a -2. Imagination was not an alter. But let's go ahead and just put her on the chart. Imagination, she was a 0, which meant she was perfectly harmonized and balanced. She was the true self. Berrigan. Yeah, Berrigan was also a 0. Imagination and Berrigan were both 0s. And then, yeah, so it was Colin, Joanna, and then Berrigan. Joanna? No, I would say Joanna sometimes was, God, it's taken me a while to go back there. Is negative, see, Joanna was worse. No, I would say she was a -4. Yeah, she was a -4. There it is. All right, definitely. Joanna was a -4. Colin was a +2. Imagining, okay, so with my multiple personalities, I jumped all over the place. So I was anywhere from a +2 down to a -4. And my subject 1 is a -10. Subject 2 is a -5. Now, problem is I had multiple personality disorder. So all right, let's go look back at 1 and 10. Let's put the difference between 1 and 10, because subject number 1 was just a severe case of where subject 2 was. Now, they both have dissociation, but I think dissociation is very much a symptom of head No, not PED. It's an aversion to pain. It's just a shutdown. It's just a symptom response. Okay, well, both have dissociation. So let's remove dissociation. Both have a fear of failure. Yeah, see, I didn't have a problem with failure. I didn't have a problem with failure. I love failure. Yes. Failure makes me happy. Okay, so fear of failure. And okay, there we go. Both have self-loathing. Yeah, both absolutely fucking hate themselves. Self-loathing. Oh my God, do both have people pleasing? Now his people pleasing is different than hers. His people pleasing is passive people pleasing. Definitely both have depression. Now, her eating disorder and self-mutilation is the same thing as his addiction. I just haven't come up with a word for that yet. And that's what we're doing here. So I'm going to put here addiction. Okay, what happens? This is the problem. This is the problem right here. What is going on in the head when you have addiction, eating disorder, self-mutilation? You're seeking to control, you're seeking to feel control by escaping to avoid the discomfort. Due to fear of discomfort. So there you go. That's what's happening in every single case. Seeking to feel control by escaping to avoid discomfort due to fear of discomfort. There, I just need an acronym for that. Come on. Addiction, eating disorder, self-mutilation. Same thing. Seeking to feel control by escaping to avoid discomfort due to fear of discomfort. In every case, it's a fear of discomfort. Now, my problem is, which one of these is the catalyst? Is it the fear of discomfort that's the catalyst? Is it the need to feel in control? Definitely panic and anxiety. Panic and anxiety, those are symptoms of not controlling. And there's definitely like let's see, and it's, oh my, I could take subject number 4 and she confirms this. This is exactly what it is. Subject number 4 says, yeah, alcoholism is exactly where she targeted it. Panic and symptom. So it was no belief in self and self-hate. This is what all of them have in common. Desire to X conflicts with fear of adventure. So the fear is greater than the desire. And that leads to feeling trapped, which leads to panic and anxiety, which leads to need to escape, which leads to need to take control to avoid discomfort. So the discomfort is the motivator. God, why can't I figure that? Okay, I'm just gonna like meditate. Give me a second here. I know what I'm doing. I'm looking at the worm of Ouroboros, and I'm trying to figure out where the beginning of a circle is. That's my problem. I am trying to figure out the beginning of a circle. That is it. I am looking for the beginning of the circle, and I can't find it because it's a fucking circle. That is my problem. All right. It's literally the fear of adventure, fear of unknown, fear of unknown, fear of unknown. It's not adventure. It's a fear of the unknown. Because that's really it. It's the scale of you want, but you're afraid of the unknown, and you are afraid more than you desire. It's definitely fear. Fear, 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 fear. Because, oh, I figured it out. The fear of the unknown. There's two fears here. There's fear of the unknown, and there is fear of discomfort. There it is. It's an inability to regulate fear. This is 100% fear-driven. I'm going to figure this out. Now, here's what I can't figure out, but I will. It's not just the fear of the unknown, it's the self-loathing. And this is it. The self-loathing is both the consequence and the catalyst. I'm seeing it. It's right here. It's right there. I know it is. I know it is. It's right here. It's right here. It's right here. I don't know why, but that's right there. One more little piece missing. I found the beginning of the circle. Found the beginning of the circle. My God, is this old? What does the mother do? She passes on. What happens in people with fear like this? See, I love fear. I'm like, yeah, bring it, fear. Yeah, fear, fear, fear. Because I know I'm fine. Let's throw all of this away. Let's go into Anna land. Go into my mind instead. Let's throw out all psychology and just look at my beautiful brain. The knowing, the belonging, the authority, the naming, the owning. They don't know the knowing. They lack the knowing. They lack the knowing. That's it. They never learn the knowing. Why do we have to do that? Thank you. Okay, so they lack the knowing. You have to know in order to overcome your fear of unknown and fear of discomfort. You have to know. It's like the coming of age. They never came of age. That's it. They never came of age. It's literally the Lord of the Flies. And that's bottom line it. It's Lord of the Flies. It's like Lord of the Flies syndrome. That's it. That's it. No, I think that's it. Lord of the Flies. Treasure Island. The knowing. The trial by fire. They lack the knowing. They don't know. They don't believe. I did. It's like the test that we all go through, but not all of us goes through it. That's it. That's it. That is it. That's the beginning of the circle. It's the first ethic. Anna, you did this work already. You did this work already before you discovered Dr. Graves's research. I did this work already. The knowing was the first ethic, which is the fear is invalid. You invalidate the fear because you know. You have to invalidate the fear. The belonging is your community and knowing where and who your people are. That is the second and the third ethic. That's the belonging. The authority was the 4-5 ethic. The naming was the 6th, the 7th, and the 8th. And the 9th. No. The authority was also the 6th. And the knowing, the owning was the 10th, the 11th, and the 12th. Wow. Wow. They lack the knowing. They just lack the knowing. They don't know that they can invalidate the fear. They never did it. Which is why I never understood it, is because I never had a problem with the knowing. The knowing is, I know I can take care of this shit. I had a problem with the belonging and the authority. Those were my weaknesses, the belonging and the authority. Theirs is the knowing. They don't know. They don't believe. Now, let's clean up this fucking mess. PSDSDs. Yeah, I know what that is. That is dimension trauma. That is past dimension trauma, triggered story sickness, and that is future dimension trauma. Now I'm going to analyze this. Ready to analyze this? PTSD is past dimension trauma. Story sickness is future dimension trauma. Narcissism and borderline personality disorder is just post-enslavement ouch, cats, post-enslavement displacement disorder. But it depends where you are on the ANA scale. I need to do the ANA scale because this is really important. The ANA scale, the ANA scale. All right. Click, click. All right, let's go ahead and put together the ANA scale. Really don't know, but I'm going to figure this out. Copy, paste. Okay. And we're going to call this the harmony. I can spell harmony. And aligned balance. This is also assertive boundaries, or the neutral zone, as I like to call it. Okay, let's try that again. Okay, there's that. Now, all right, now. Okay, let's bring this out a little bit further. Let's get rid of this. Let's put this out here. Over there. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, now. This is the addiction line. Addiction. Oh, see, I still haven't, I'm still stuck because I haven't named this thing, and I just got to name it. And that's what the whole thing about this is. What should I call this thing? All right. They lack the knowing. Because they lack the knowing, come on, go back to my logic. If they lack the knowing, then, this is the exciting part. This is when I love the formulas. If they lack the knowing, then they will fear toward the comfort zone. There it is, people. Oh, and there it is. There's the disconnect. Oh, I need some champagne for this. Holy fucking shit. Self-inflicted enslavement disorder. Boom. That's the disconnect. This whole goddamn thing is about freedom. All of this is about freedom. Holy shit, pickles. Self-inflicted enslavement disorder. That's why subject 1 has the same symptoms as subject 2 and 3. He enslaved himself in his own comfort zone. It's the same thing I did when I had to enslave myself in my own bedroom to protect myself from the abusive brother who was going to say, well, who said, I'm going to fucking kill you. So I literally had to use my own bedroom as my own comfort zone, but I didn't want to. I literally did what everybody with addiction, eating disorders, and self-mutilation do inside their head to themselves. That's the disconnect. That is it right there. It is self-inflicted enslavement disorder. I got it. Holy fucking shit. This is phenomenal. Oh, I love common denominators. And yes, fear of abandonment, fear of failure, dissociation, self-loathing, people-pleasing, and depression are all symptoms of self-inflicted enslavement disorder. Self-inflicted enslavement disorder. SIED. Oh. And I know how to solve it. God, this is so fucking extraordinary. So PTSD is past dimension trauma. Story sickness is future dimension trauma. I'm going to break that one down here in a minute. Self-inflicted enslavement disorder. Boom. And then you have identity displacement disorder. But you also have post-enslavement displacement disorder. Wow. This is so fucking... Depression is a symptom. Suicidal ideation is a symptom. It's not a fucking diagnosis. It's a symptom. You don't diagnose symptoms. Bipolar is just depression and ADHD. It doesn't exist. Borderline personality is just, no one's going to like this, but it's true, is just post-enslavement displacement disorder, and it is also identity displacement disorder. Sorry, but every person with borderline and every empath is a narcissist. Sorry. And that's coming from somebody who had it. Narcissism looks like borderline on the inside, but it looks like narcissism on the outside. But it's the same damn thing. Perspectives change the way these things look. And it takes somebody who's been on the inside and on the outside and in the books and in Nim's brain to figure all this shit out. Yosh! Huge fucking victory today, people. All right. Now, there are 3 things that work here. PTSD and story sickness are 2 completely different things. These are actually symptoms, but they're like separate entities. That is actually dimension trauma. That is what this is dimension trauma. Oh, and you got to study Aristotle to figure that out. Dimension trauma. One of these days, somebody's going to go, you know what? Maybe philosophy's fucking important. All right. Fucking important. The most fucking... All right, I'm all right. I'm going to calm down. All right. Now, PTSD and story sickness are dimension trauma. The other kind of trauma is slave trauma. And there are 3 types. You have self-inflicted enslavement disorder, identity displacement disorder, and then you have post-enslavement displacement disorder. Everything else is a fucking symptom. Do not diagnose symptoms. The problem when you diagnose a symptom is you're treating a symptom. You do not treat symptoms, which is what everybody in the psych field is doing. We need to be treating the problem. And these are the problems. You've got dimension trauma. Technically, PTSD and story sickness are very much dimension traumas. But these are, they're triggered. And, okay, I got it. There's more here. These are triggered symptoms. And these are triggered catalysts. Now, if it's triggered, it must be treated. You cannot treat depression. If you treat the self-inflicted enslavement disorder, the depression goes away. This is it right here. So now we're going to hop, skip, and a jump over to Annaland. Look at Annaland. Annaland is awesome. I'm so happy in Annaland. All right, so you have, oh my God, this is so fucking huge. This is so much simpler. Like, I get it. All right, with dimension trauma, under the PTSD in the past dimension, you can't, it's like a barrier. It literally gets in the way of actually treating the symptom. If it gets in the way of treating the problem, you're gonna have to treat whatever's in your way. Bottom line, it's like it is a protective thing around it. Now, the self-inflicted enslavement disorder, the identity displacement disorder, and the post-enslavement displacement order. There you go. Those are your 3 things. Now, in subject 1, I can now properly diagnose subject 1. Subject 1 has, oh my God, this is gorgeous. All right, let's get subject 1, subject 2, and subject 3 up here. And it's why subject 1 is not showing any symptoms of PTSD-ish. It is 100%. Oh my God, this is beautiful. There, that's it. That's all he's got. Subject 2. Has PED. PTSD and story sickness. That's it. Subject 3 had. All right, let's do this. Woohoo! Subject 3 is me. I had PED and that and it wasn't self-inflicted. It was. This is interesting. Because I literally enslaved myself. I did. But I did it on purpose and physically, not mentally. And I had PTSD and story sickness. There you go. That's what I had. I had all of them. Multiple personality disorder is just a stage 4. So really, watch this. Are you ready? This is going to be awesome. Ho, 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 ho. I had stage 4. No, I did not. I had stage 3. Are you ready? You're going to love this. Oh my God, is this going to, I was stage 3. Subject 2 was stage 2. Oh my God. Oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Oh my fucking God, this is going to be the most gorgeous thing we ever see in the world. Wait for this. Subject 1, what are you, honey? Let me think. Stage 1, nope, nope, definitely. So stage 1, let me give you another page here because this is what you need to see. These are the levels of trauma. This is what I'm doing. There are 4 stages of trauma. The first stage is just amnesia. The second stage is amnesia and PTSD. Invasive perspectives. I got to talk in Anna Land terms. Invasive perspectives. And then stage 3 is multiple personalities. Stage 4. I almost was stage 4. I hit stage 4 once. I remember. Comatose, vegetable. This is the levels of trauma. And that's it. Dissociative identity disorder, multiple personalities. Okay, people, we're going to do this once and for all. It's called dissociative. It's not dissociative. It's called multiple consciousness disorder. And it is just stage 3. I am removing multiple personality and did from that bullshit. All right, so levels of trauma, you have amnesia. You also, level 2 is when you get amnesia. Oh yeah, amnesia is also when you black out. People get this all the time, okay? You can experience level 1 without it actually turning into trauma. Trauma occurs here at stage 2. That is when the rewiring of the nervous system starts to occur. Okay, there we go. So levels of trauma is your amnesia, your blackout, and then you have amnesia and invasive perspectives, trauma, rewiring of the nervous system, and then you have multiple consciousness disorder, and then you have comatose vegetable. And that is when there's complete system failure shutdown. Now, I entered level 4 one day. Yeah, I did eye level ego. And I actually wrote about it in Broken, and you can read where I went into level 4. All right, now, these are the levels of trauma. So going back over to this, I'm going to put together, this is the Anna scale, but I really need to come up with a better name, but hey, why not? Anna scale. You know what? I haven't named a single thing after me. Like there's the Rorschach print. And maybe this will be, I don't want to use my last name. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this because this is my shit. We're going to call this the Anna Imagination Scale. Yeah, that's right. I get naming rights. And this is going to be the only and the first thing that's mine on the Anna scale, the AI scale. In fact, you can call it the AI scale. We're going to call it the AI scale, the AI scale for Anna Imagination because I fucking earned it. All right, that's right. All right, that's it. That's it. You know, I wonder when people do this shit, if they did this. Can you see Sir Isaac Newton sitting there in his like office at home in the 1400s? Gravity, I did it. It's gravity, people. I can see him doing that. Or do you think Pythagoras was in his office in the pyramids and in Greece going, yeah, it's my theorem? Do you think he did that? Because I totally see him doing that. All right, now. I can also see Plato like, yeah, Socrates, we did it. Socratic method, give me 5. I see this. All right, so this is Anna's imagination scale. Wait, no, this is all wrong. We're going to do this right. It's my fucking name. All right, now, I love feather pillows and feather, like, down comforters. So, and my cats, I have cats. Of course I have cats. And oh my God, do I have cats? And so they're like, I got, like, feathers sometimes that just float all over the place. All right, Anna Imagination's scale. My scale. All right, so let me convert the scale. La, la, la. I don't want to delete that photo. I love that photo. All right, why do I have, where's my where is this? Very sad. All right, let me try doodling this again. Oh, there it is. Okay, that's where it is. All right, so I have addiction here at the top. And then I have this little line here. Why? Oh, click. There we go. Oh, I see. It's because I was impatient. All right, so this is the violence scale. All right. This graph, this scale is extraordinary. And once we understand this, it's going to explain a lot once I'm done putting this all together. Okay, I don't want to do this because I like things to be symmetrical. And to ensure they are symmetrical, I just copy paste. So then the next thing is so this line is going to be the aggression. Yeah, aggressive. I want to do this precisely. So this is the point of aggression, and we're going to make sure these are underneath the lines. I want these underneath the lines. So this is the line of addiction. The first line of addiction is literally measuring how addictive a person can become. Or I'm sorry, this is the passage of time. So anyone can have any level of addiction at any one of these. It knows no bound, except in here. It's not going to be in here. I just am incompetent when it comes to this kind of shit, so I don't know. You know what? For scientific purposes, I'm going to do this because it really needs to not be in here, and it's really important that it's not. It must be precise. No! Try and pick that line up again. Okay. So this is the aggression line or the addiction line. So at any point, you can have an addiction. Now, it's not addiction anymore. It's called the SIED line. The sideline, ha ha, ha ha ha. The sideline is basically, it doesn't matter where you are on this. You're going to see the addiction, the eating disorders, addiction, eating disorder, and self-mutilation. And then it's not really SIED because that's a symptom. So let's do, yeah, let's call it, you know what, I'm just going to do it. Addiction, eating disorder. See, I don't want to use eating disorder. It's the addiction, the food. I'm going to call it the SIED response. There we go. That way it's distinguished differently from everything else. All right, so SIED response. There you go. So this is the SIED response. That's your addiction. And I'm going to, because it's new, I want to define it. So SIED response equals so why? I'm just gonna like, okay, so it is fun. So SIED response equals your addiction, formerly known as eating disorder, and then self-harm. There you go. Any kind of addictions at all. So that is the SIED response. So you have your SIED response line, you have your violence line, you have your avoidant. Yeah, that's going to go here. So we're going to remove this. You have your, nope, this is actually one line that I need all the way through it. That actually needs to go all the way through it. And the reason why is because this line actually is part of the harmony and aligned balance. So what we're going to see with this line is, that's going to go up here. All right, I see this now. So this is aggressive. And then over here is your avoidant. And then you have passive. And then you have passive aggressive. And then this line right here is going to be your people pleasing and your service. Basically, it's your obedient. This is literally your obedient line, how obedient you are. And then you have your giver taker line. This is another one of those lines where it goes all the way through. And this measures your scarcity abundance. Come on. I don't know what's going on here. Let's try that again. So, and then you have your takers here. All right. So these are your givers and your takers. And then you have your, and this is going to be your projection line. This is going to be whether or not you project it or you internalize it. And this is where you internalize. And then this is where you project. And again, this is very much. And then in the neutral zone, you're not going to do either. What you do, you're fucking secure. That's what you are. So passive, aggressive, assertive. Watch this. Passive, aggressive, assertive. Internalize, project, neutral. See how this is going? This is it exactly. So now I can remove assertive over here. There is no violence over here. There is no violence over here. There is zero. The SIED response, you can have it all the way through, but there is no SIED response here. There isn't, because you are secure. In fact, that's what it was I wanted to do. I knew it. It was the attachment styles. Because the attachment styles are next. This is where you are secure attachment. This is secure attachment right here. I want to put this on centered. There we go. So there's your secure attachment style. And then over here you have anxious. And then over here you have avoidant attachment style. Disorganized means you literally have a range. Anxious attachment. And here's the other one. Suicide. I am under the impression that this I do not know. This I do not know. I have no idea if people who are on this side of it, and this is, I'm going to be very clear. This I do not know. I do know that this is definitely the suicide line over here, but whether or not they do that over there on this side of the equation, I do not know. We have to do some research to determine this. So that is going to remain in question until we have more information. But this is it. And this is the SIED response. And this is also the suicide can occur anywhere on the side. I don't know about this one here. SIED response is right here. And then violence is here. Avoidant, passive, passive-aggressive, assertive, and aggression. I want to make sure this is aggression. Make sure I feel like I want them all to be, there we go, the right grammatical. And then here we have the obedient line, the people-pleasing. It does not exist over here. I almost want to say that that's it. I got to think about this. No, that's not true. Because you can be over here and not violent, but violence only exists over here. Now, this is on an imagination scale. This is the AI scale. I'm going to go call it the AIS or the AI scale. Yes. Oh, yes. This is my naming rights. This is my little yoo-hoo. Okay. This is the scale. Now, I'm going to put this down here. So this is what I mean by the scale. Now, what I want is I want dotted lineness. So this is the important part. I say it like the rest of this is not important, right? Let's do this because we're not done yet. I don't want that to be like, okay, there we go. All right, this. Why does the word Richter scale stick in my head right now? I have to leave this. I'm out of room. Okay, so let's stop fucking around with that. Let's just go over here. Okay, so this is what I need to like clarify. This is going to be -10. La, 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 la. And then it's going to be 0. This is the calibration. This is literally it. Okay? And then I know what this is. Oh, I feel it. Yep. The reason why I don't go all the way over here, and I will tell you why. You've heard me talk about this. This is why. I don't go here. I don't talk about this. Somebody else can do my work for me. Someone else can research this shit. I'm not doing it. Bottom line. So that is what we are up against here. So my scale, like I won't touch it. I've done enough. I won't touch it. Someone else can figure that shit out. So this is level 5 of the subconscious mind, and I don't go there. This is where your pedophiles are, serial killers, Norman Bates, that guy on The Walking Dead. Here's not here. That guy on The Walking Dead. So there's an episode of The Walking Dead, Here's Not Here, in season 6. And the psychologists, there's a psychologist who meets Morgan, and the psychologist says, I believe there is good in everybody, except one man. And he explains the story of this man. And that's him. He's a level 5 of the subconscious mind. I don't go there. Yep. And this is the man, according to the story, who was in prison. He was a psychopath. And he had everyone convinced he had been converted, but he had not convinced this guy. This guy was not just a psychologist. He was a forensic psychologist. And he saw right through him. He says, no, you are absolutely he's like, I see your bullshit. And the guy attacked him right on the spot. Later, the same man managed to finally convince other people that he was reformed. They released him. And while he was on parole, he went to this guy's house, slaughtered the psychologist's wife and child, and then turned himself back in. That's it. That is level 5 of the subconscious mind. So I don't go here. I don't have the mental constitution to look into that part of the brain. Now, these are people who love being evil. That's really the summation. They love being evil. And I cannot research that part of the brain. So where you are on this scale is going to determine pretty much everything. So I'm now going to show you this. This is subject. See, I put him here. I would say he's probably closer to here. Maybe he's a -8. I'm going to say he's a -8. Subject 1 is a -8. I am now here. Subject 2 is right here. There you go, guys. Now, understanding where you are on the scale and understanding your level of trauma, and boom. So a diagnosis equals your level of trauma plus where you are on the IS scale plus your behavioral defense. Boom, there you go. That's it. So when I say that I was a stage 3, and my alters were a -4 to a +2 and a 0, subject 2 is a -4, stage 2. Subject 1 is a stage 2, -8. Boom, there you go. Now, this is what I'm doing. When I provide people, you're going to love this. The cure to this, the philosopher's compass corrects this. This logical health in the 12 stages of growth. Take care of this. But definitely logical health. Let me think about that. Is this also this 12 stages of growth? Let me think about this. I want to cry. This is such a fucking huge day. So logical health. This is with the cognitive core, by the way. When I say logical health, I am specifically referring to logical health. And this is 100% the philosopher's compass. And these are just behavioral defenses. The behavioral defenses is a direct result of perspective abuse, and that is a direct result of having poor logical health because you lack the philosopher's compass. The philosopher's compass, oh yes, and then it's the 6-part mental system. That's what I'm missing. So this is the logical core health and the 6th part of the mental system. I'll have to break that down further, but this is pretty much what I do. So when I built Triadic Healing, it was understanding the levels of trauma. It was understanding this and how it's separate. And it was also basically functioning and understanding this right here with the dimension trauma. There you go. So this is how it all links together. All right. So this pretty much concludes all of that. Holy fucking shit. I think it's done. Like, this is the logical explanation of, so this is what's wrong with the world today. This is it. Which is why, and this right here is, this is how I do my diagnosis on people. So when I have people come in, I don't diagnose them. I'm like, okay, yeah, I see what's wrong. I see what's wrong in the sense of you don't have a solid philosopher's compass. You don't have your 6th part of the mental system. And here you go. This is it right here. Triadic Healing is composed of your logical health, which is contingent upon the cognitive core. It is the 6th part of it is the management of the 6th part of the mental system, and it is the philosopher's compass. What else is there? I feel like there's one more thing. It's the map of the subconscious mind. Map of the subconscious mind is this right here. No, wait. No, it's not. It's this. Logical health is when that is the map of the subconscious mind. And I talk about that a lot, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this here because like this is all part of it. So let's just go ahead and do that. Click. All right. This is the map of the subconscious mind. I want like shapes. All right, let me see here. Let's do this. Perfect. Oh, I grabbed the wrong one. Okay, so level 1, level 2, level 3, level. No, that's not the wrong one. Okay, there we go. Come on. Level. Come on. And then I feel like we are well beyond this time period where I should be able to just hit a button and it automatically does what I want. Okay, so these are the 5 levels of the subconscious mind. This is the frontal cortex right here. And this is where I call this the office space. I also refer to it as the primary dome, which is multiple personality talk. Primary dome. This is where we all hear the voices in our head. This is where the voices in our head convene. When you hear people talking in your head, this is where it's done. Voices in our head equals voices in our head. So this is like the living room. This is the living room of the subconscious mind. Okay. And then we have the mind maze, the memory maze. This is where all of our memories are kept. This is where shadow work is done. All right. Identity. Identity gets their own little bedroom. And the cognitive core. Cognitive core is located here. This is what I refer to as the Queen's chambers. Because this is literally like her private space. This is where you get that gut feeling. Okay, and then we have, this is one of my favorite things to say. The proverbial closet of the subconscious mind. Why is it doing this? I don't want it to do this. Where all the skeletons are kept. This is where everything with amnesia goes. If you have amnesia from trauma, this is where you are. This is where I lived for 32 years, inside the fourth level of the subconscious mind. I don't go here. I went here once. It put me insane. I ended up in the mental hospital for 3 days. I don't go there. You guys can figure that shit out. Somebody somewhere is going to be like, I love this shit. I want to continue the work of imagination. Well, there you go. I don't go there. I went insane when I went down there. I could see it when I was in the fourth level. I could see it. I knew it was there. I don't want to go there. So these are the 5 levels of the subconscious mind. This is literally the map. Yeah, that's pretty much it. This is the map. And I feel like it's not right if I don't put my compass here. For some reason, it feels like the compass needs to be here. All right, we're going to do the compass. The eye of I. The U of I. And the they of I. Now, inside of all of this, there is always a point. Every one of my little triangles has a point. And that point is the 4th point of this triangle. And yes, it is very much, I don't want it to be this kind of a line. I want it to be this kind of a line. All right, this is going to piss me off, so I'm just not going to do it. So this is the 4th part of it. And that is the defined self. The U of I is the role model. The I of I is identity. The they of I is community. There it is. So this is the philosopher's compass. The cognitive core is used to solidify this. There it is. So there is the philosopher's compass. And then this is the map of the subconscious mind. And then this is the levels of trauma. This is my Anna imagination scale, or the AI scale. I feel like it should be like the scale of what? The scale of what it is this? What is this measuring? I want to say personality, but this is not personality. This is the scale of calibration. This is where you are if you're calibrated. When I tell people, are you calibrated? This is it. My clients all know what that is. Every one of my case studies just went, oh, this is what she means. Am I calibrated? You're not calibrated. This is it. You have to be calibrated. Anna Imagination scale of calibration. It's the calibration scale. Ooh, there you go. I like Anna Imagination scale of calibration better. I've earned it. Yes, this is the calibration scale. This is it. You got to be calibrated. When you are traumatized, ho, 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 here we are. Are you ready for this? When you are, oh wait, I got to do one more line. I just realized I didn't do this. What the fuck? Oh, I see now. Okay, so Joanna, I hear you is right here. Was right here. So this is where Joanna was, my altar Joanna. No, wait, Colin. Sorry. Colin was here. So Colin was there. That was one of my altars. This is where I am. This is where imagination is. And then here, yeah, that's subject 2, subject 1. I think subject 1 is now here. I'm not sure. On his worst days, he's over here. Sometimes. So he pretty much fluctuates here, and you can fluctuate. So when I say to somebody, you need to calibrate, you basically need to use the philosopher's compass to collaborate. That's it. Calibrate. I'm sorry. The philosopher's compass is what takes care of this. 100%. The philosopher's compass is what calibrates all of this. And then you have the behavioral defenses. And the behavioral defenses are linked to the cognitive core. The behavioral defenses within the cognitive core. I'm not going to do the cognitive core right now. I think it's because I have so much of it already. I'm like, why would I do another one of those? So that concludes this presentation of triadic healing. That is pretty much it. And by the way, all of this is perspective abuse. So it's like it is an umbrella. Perspective abuse. Perspective abuse is basically enslavement trauma. It's also reality distortion trauma. There you are. Reality distortion trauma. Perspective abuse, enslavement trauma, reality distortion trauma. And it can lead to these 5 groups. So these here, the PTSD and the story sickness, are when the dimension starts to, it's a type of escapism. It's, I don't want to be in this dimension. I don't want to be in the now because I'm stuck in the past or I'm trying to predict the future. It's a defense. This is 100% a defense to try and keep yourself safe. This enslavement trauma is the actual behavior. So there's only 3 behaviors. And are you ready for this one? First ethic. That's it. It's just lacking the first 3 ethics. There you are. We are all done. This is triadic healing. Yep. There you go. All right. Thank you so much for joining me and accompanying me on my victories today. I greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much. And may the kindest of words always find you.